Good morning, Mr. Davis, and thank you for being willing to do a video testimonial for Paul Davis Restoration and Remodeling. Can you tell us a little bit about what happened at your house?
Well, let's see. On November the 11th at 5:30 in the morning, my wife and I were suddenly awakened by what sounded like an airplane landing inappropriately. And we got out of bed unwillingly and came out in the hallway here and discovered the house was full of trees. We had a beautiful 200-foot tree behind our house, 42 inches in diameter, that just decided to fall over. And it pretty much destroyed the back half of the house and the roof, except for 6 rafters. And that chimney is cement block, or cement brick, and that's what saved the house. Otherwise it would have collapsed, and we'd be looking at a totally new house.
Was it a storm that brought the tree down?
No, we'd had rain for 4 days, not an awful lot of rain, and it just decided to fall.
So what was the first thing you did after you discovered this tree inside your house?
Called 911. Fire department came and looked at it and said, "This is too big for us." So we got on the phone and called my favorite timber man, and then we called Nationwide, and I would say by 9:30 in the morning everybody was here, and very startled. It was raining still. It had started to rain, and it took 2 days to clear the house of the tree, and another 2 days to put a temporary roof up covered with tarp to keep the water out, and then 6 months later, here we are.
And who did you work with at Paul Davis?
We worked with Christy, and I have a very
Ian Thomas, perhaps?
No. Christy was really the only person that
was your project manager?
Really dealt with. She did an excellent job. She's educated, and she's a hands-on young lady, and did a superb job.
Richard, tell me what you were telling me earlier off camera about the construction people.
When this happened, I'm not really familiar with construction people in this area, so the insurance company called Paul Davis, and Paul Davis called construction company, and they came in and we all met and talked about how we were going to repair the house and what had to be done to get it to where the rain wasn't coming in. And I signed a contract to have them just get it to where it was covered, while I observed everybody's skill levels. And I was so impressed with the people that did the work that I went ahead and signed a contract for them to completely build the house. And they did an excellent job. Everybody was terrific.
That's
did a
great.
Good job.
And Mrs. Davis, what were you going to say about the people who packed out the contents of your house?
Well, the ladies did a terrific job, and they treated everything. My little knick-knack finds were treated as nicely as my porcelain, and they really tried hard to put things back and be careful with them, and I was very impressed with their method of packing and the book that they put together for me. And you just couldn't ask for people to be more careful and caring with everything you own. And I do mean everything.
So it was all inventoried and...
The book they prepared is really helpful. I'd never seen that. We had an experience with her stepfather. He lost his house, and we couldn't find things, we had a hard time justifying what the contents were of his house after a fire. but they took everything out of the house in boxes, and they emptied all the boxes somewhere in their warehouse and photographed each box content and inventoried everything. So we had a complete inventory and a picture. And the boxes were identified by number. So right now we're looking for our skillet. It's in box number 43. And I have about 40 boxes in the attic. I'll go through them and find box 43 so I can have some eggs with my breakfast.
Terrific. Well, it was a traumatic event, but sounds as though you've had a good ending to it. I'm glad you decided to call Paul.
They really chose good people to do the work.
Thank you very much.